What's going on, ladies and gents? We're back. Another video up. As you can see, we've got the Hyperdunk 2016. So it's finally going to be my performance assessment of this particular shoe. Gonna do it a little bit differently than I have some of the other videos. So what I'm going to do, instead of me just merely, just holding the shoe and talking about it, I'm actually going to show some live action in the shoe, and I'll be giving my performance assessment as you see the shoe on the court in action. Just trying this out. Let me know how you like this particular take on it, and if you like it, I'll continue doing so. But without any further ado, let's hop right into the review. Alright, we're back. Now, I'm going to start with the inner of the shoe. Now, for those of you who are maybe newer to the channel, maybe not seen some of the previous reviews, let me explain why. It's simply this. It doesn't matter how good the fit, the cushion, the traction, the support is. If there's something going on within the inner of that shoe that makes it uncomfortable to wear, then it doesn't matter how good any of those things are, you're not going to wear the shoe, so it doesn't really matter. Now, with the Hyperdunk, there aren't any issues from an inner standpoint that's going to cause you any sort of discomfort rather, in terms of something like a raised seam or anything like that. The only thing I say is the toe box is not the tallest in the world. So if you have, I guess, tall toes or thick toenails or something, or whatever, that means that could be a slight issue, perhaps. But outside of those abnormalities, you shouldn't have any issues from that standpoint. Now, moving up to the upper. From a flexibility standpoint, it doesn't start off stiff per se. Well, actually, let me back that up. There's a break-in time. It's going to be. It flexes well fresh out of the box, but it is by no means what I would consider broken in. It probably took me about 2 to 3 wearings to get it where I wanted it to be, but once I got it to that point, it flexed very well, and I didn't have that problem moving forward. But even how the shoe flexed at the upper, as sometimes can be with certain shoes, it'll flex and it'll form hard points at those flexion areas. Didn't really have that issue with this shoe. It moved very well with my foot, which was a good thing. Additionally, the upper managed to do a good job of locking my foot down and hold it in place. The upper, it's a fuse-based upper, which means there's no leather. You don't see that too much on modern-day performance basketball shoes. And it's got flywire incorporated up and down the both medial and lateral sides of the shoe to assist with helping the foot remain on the footbed and the fit, and it does a pretty good job. And I didn't have any issues with my foot moving around internally, front to back, side to side, or anything of that nature. So did a great job in that. Fit at the heel. Now, initially when I looked at this shoe, I thought, man, this shoe looks bulky, clunky. Just coming from the previous model to this one, I was like, man, this shoe is gonna fit like a cast. And kind of touching back on what I said initially, that was kind of how I felt at first, particularly around the heel. It does a very good job of fit around the heel, but I thought it would be like a cast. And again, extending back to what I said about the rest of the upper, it kind of felt like that, but like I said, once the shoe kind of found its groove in terms of being broken in, that went away. And it actually was a pleasant surprise to me how well the upper not only moved with my foot, but provided an overall level of fit from front to back, top to bottom, and at the heel as well. All right, now, as far as your cushioning setup, what you've got is a Phylon midsole, complete with Zoom Air units at the forefoot and the heel. Now, it's kind of like the upper. in the sense that there is somewhat of a breaking in time with the midsole. Somewhat similar, to that of the upper. Now, once that happened, I was definitely able to get better perception and a feel of the Zoom Air units, particularly that of the forefoot. So it was definitely able to be a much more enjoyable and better feeling ride once that midsole started to compress and those things started to happen. Now, the midsole is slightly on the thick side due to the level of cushioning it provides. Now, what that means is the court feel in some degree is sacrificed. Now, with that being said, does that mean it's awful? Well, no. Now, it's certainly not, say, at the level of a Kyrie 3, for instance, where it feels like you are literally just standing on top of the basketball court. It's not quite that good. But it is higher, but it's definitely not bad or to the point of instability. As the Hyperdunk is a very stable shoe. So that's definitely to be mindful of if you have that type of craving to feel like you want maximum court feel, you're gonna give some of that up in the shoe. But overall, the cushioning itself is good. The midsole is very flexible, so that leads to good transitions from forefoot to heel and vice versa. Just when you're moving around on the basketball court, at no point did the shoe ever feel slappy. So it definitely allowed that and just gave you a good feel. And I feel like this particular setup is going to be one that's going to be fairly long lasting. It's going to get you through a season or more of wear. All right, now moving down to the traction here. The outsole on this particular colorway, as well as the other colorway of the Hyperdunk that I played in, is solid rubber outsole. Some other colorways do have translucent outsoles, which there's a host of other issues that may arise from that particular rubber. But this one, it was actually ready to go right out of the box. So there was no having to, wear the shoe maybe for a day to wear the rubber down a little bit. Fresh out of the box, it was providing a high level of traction. Now, another thing that I did notice is that there wasn't the excessive debris buildup that can plague the outsoles of some shoes, which means you don't have to not only spend extra time having to make sure the outsole is clean and wiping it and all that things that can get kind of annoying, but also if the court that you play on is less than ideal, meaning they don't sweep it a lot, you don't have to worry about that with this particular shoe. And I actually did play on a dusty court just to prove that point, and I'm happy to report that this shoe does provide a high level of traction, and overall the traction on the Hyperdunk will be good indoors and out. In conclusion, the Hyperdunk 2016 is a shoe that lives up and is a worthy addition to the Hyperdunk line. It offers very high performance in the areas of fit, where it doesn't allow any type of front to back, side to side movement. Very good fit at the heel. It's going to lock that down. Also provides very good and reliable cushioning, and the traction is really good as well. Also, due to it's going to be a very versatile shoe. It's going to accommodate a wide variety of positions and play style, from point guards to even centers, as you can see playing in this shoe. It's really the only real caveat, and I don't see one is necessarily too big of a deal. It doesn't necessarily offer what I would feel maximum court feel, but like I said earlier, it's not at a point that would where your foot's too high off the ground or will lend to instability. And really that's it, just the break-in time of the upper, but even that's not so bad. So overall, it's definitely a quality performer, built well. It's gonna get you through a season, like I said, both up top and down below in terms of cushioning. So if you find it, we definitely would recommend it, and we put it on our list. And that's going to wrap up our performance assessment on the Hyperdunk 2016. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos real soon.